Well, we're at a point of transformation now, socially, for everyone. And men are convening now to heal these things, but many men are aware of the way that we've been brought up and the way that we show up because of the way that we've been brought up is inadequate and not healthy. So there's a deep longing to show up as loving, courageous, thoughtful, and mindful men. And to understand how to do that together. And so that's why the dimension approach and conscious awareness is really a doorway, a first step. Because if I just exist in the world with the wounds I've had around my anger and rage, I can't connect with other people authentically because I'm still stuck in my own kind of wounding. So a healthy masculinity embraces the challenge to heal one's own wounds so that you can show up to help heal what's in the world.
I think the other half of that, the other flip side to that coin is, I think things in life tend to show up as challenges, and those challenges could be seen as opportunities for growth. So there's been, we've all had our, difficult times and difficult and challenges and traumatic situations. But I think to a person, everybody could probably look back on most of those situations and say, you know what, that was difficult, but I really learned a lot about myself coming through that process. So having that perspective, I think is really helpful. And that's life presenting situations for your own personal growth. It always comes down to that. It's the difference between being a victim of life or being more of a, I don't know if co-creator with life is exactly what I want to say, but more aligned with the process of life. As change happens in life to you personally, it seems like when we need something, a lot of times we look for something to kind of grab onto as far as, okay, this is my source of stability. And it seems like a lot of what's happening now is when that source of stability in the external world is taken away, where do you find your sense of self or your sense of stability? And it seems like that's the point where you stop looking outside and start looking more inside. That's when that shift occurs. You can't find that source of stability in the world. You realize that, so you start to take a look in the complete opposite direction. And once that shift occurs, and if you allow it to happen, then life changes in a way that, very unexpected ways, but you realize that you can support yourself in a way that the external world could never do, could never satisfy you, could never hold you in that way. And I think that's the whole point of this. The basis of the work that we're doing is the holding process.
Getting through that first step of acknowledging that a crisis demands that you ask for some help or support is huge, and then finding a process like conscious awareness where everything is allowed. Everything is allowed because the new ground that you're talking about is source or spirit. So everything can be looked at and held in that conscious space for it to come up, to be looked at, and then transformed by recognizing the splits or blind spots that we have. So
Yeah.
it's kind of secret information to men. That's why in my own life, there's help out there. You need to ask for help, and you need to connect with some source outside of yourself, another person or a therapist who can really go deeper and talk about these issues beyond just the kind of cultural norms that exist to really hold us in place. I'll just say that, actually. So we're kind of building a new awareness within the culture, as we said earlier, that it's part of our humanity to come together and support each other.